Hi there, my name is Kay Moon, and I am a twin flame channel and Western astrologer. And this is a video addendum update for the new moon in Capricorn that occurred on January 13th. So, um, I've noticed that there is a significant energy or feeling of quote unquote failure in the air for a lot of people. And it's in the collective on the whole as well. The feeling or perception that you didn't quite make your goal, get where you wanted to be, achieve what you had in mind, connect the way you wanted to connect with someone, express yourself the way you thought would have been better received, experience the thing you wanted to experience, etc. This sensation that you didn't quite get there is in the air. And I'm naming this for all of us so that if you're experiencing this energy, but you're not quite sure what it is, there's a tension and it's rumbling around and it's kind of misplaced or dislocated or hard to figure out what the tension is about. I've noticed that the connecting thread at the root of all of it is the perception of somehow having failed. And if you're experiencing this energy, I want you to know that it's amplified by the transits discussed in the new moon in Capricorn video for this period. And it's also amplified by much of what's going on in the collective as well, because this is not just happening for you or for twin flames. This is something that's happening kind of globally. And I'll get to why in a moment. But a lot of the turmoil that we're seeing collectively is people's unconscious response to this perception of their experiences. So when we perceive that we have quote unquote failed, do we blame? Do we blame ourselves? Do we blame someone else? Do we fight? Do we hide? Do we move into perfectionistic overdrive? Do we ignore it? Do we wallow in it? What is it that we do when we are having that instinctive response to failure? It's not something that's typically conscious, it's typically something that's unconscious. And what's happening in the collective is this energy of that sensation. And now we're seeing people respond to it without even really consciously or cognitively recognizing that that's what's going on for them. And the reality is that we've not failed. We're in transition, all of us collectively. We're moving from one track and one path for our lives onto another one. And we've not failed, we've evolved. Our consciousness has moved into an expanded place. We're now seeing things with different eyes and from a different perspective. And we're at that inflection point where our lives are now evolving with us, where the change has happened internally. Now it's time for the change to catch up externally. The divine design for all of our lives and for the collective path is at work here. And it is assisting all of us to get where we will be of highest service and value to others on earth at this time, and most able to give and receive love. So, the main message I have for you is to trust your heart, trust your dreams. These are the sacred compass by which you're going to be able to navigate in the dark. If things aren't looking how you thought they'd look, do what you can to trust the current unfoldments. Transitions are not easy when we are attached to perfect pictures of the future or idealized perceptions of the past, but they can be easier when we remember that we are a part of the divine design. We are not separate, we are not excluded, we are not forgotten, we are not sidelined. And while we may not know where things are headed, what's coming next will ultimately be better than where we've been. So, do your Reiki, do your energy healing, take your salt baths, do your breath work, etc. Do what you can to let this energy pass through you without it becoming you. What we resist persists, or so the saying goes. So, surrender to it if the feeling is already there, and expand your perception while you're in it to see the perfection of now as best as you're able to, because there is something really ideal about how unideal things are at this moment. And remind yourself that you've done the best that you could. You've given what you could, you showed up the best way you knew how. In this period where our enlightenment is becoming more and more accessible to us, it would be really easy to look back and say, oh, I failed about certain experiences in the past. However, you can really trust that if you knew better and energetically could have managed better, you would have done better. While difficult to face truths and tough decisions are a part of how transition and evolution happen, those are definitely here. It's also important that we do not let our ego's access to higher frequencies and greater wisdom shame us for our pasts. We did what we could. Trust that and really do what you can to let go in compassion and love for yourself and for others. They would have done better if they could have too. And so much love, you guys. Bye for now.